Picture yourself on a wooden platform, a sea of faces before you. Some are hungry for justice, some are hungry for blood, and some are simply hungry for a show. The crowd is abuzz, waiting for the moment of execution. But the one everyone's looking at isn't just the one to die, it's you, the one holding the blade. For thousands of years, the life of an executioner was a life of shadows and contradictions. Dreaded, hated, sometimes respected, but never fully accepted. Let us get drawn into their lives, the men who labored on scaffold executions, and find out what it really meant to have death on your shoulders. Executioners did not enter the job by chance. More often, it ran in the family. A father would pass the job on to his son, not as a right, but as a curse that tied generations to the gallows. Medieval European executioner families were stigmatized. They were isolated, married among themselves, and were not allowed to be part of guilds or to have respectable jobs. Even when they were highly compensated for their labor, society considered them tainted, essential but dirty. But paradoxically, executioners often lived more comfortably than average peasants. They got free lodging, tax breaks, and, in a few instances, monopoly rights to sell animal hides or liquor. They grew wealthy. But their gold was blood-stained, because however many privileges there were for the profession, everyone knew they made their bread by ending lives. And the scaffold itself was not just a place of work, it was a platform. The executioner had to be more than just proficient with rope or axe, he had to be a thespian too. Every movement mattered. Too swift, and the crowd was cheated. Too clumsy, and the executioner himself was ridiculed, or worse, by the furious mob. Public hanging was a show, and the executioner was the director and villain. But there's a catch. Though people despised them in normal life, they also counted on them when justice was called for. Kings and councils needed their expertise. Criminals feared them, and thousands of spectators filled the streets to watch them at work. There was an executioner standing at the edge of society, hated in the bazaar, but necessary on the scaffold. And below the ritual disguise, the cost in human terms. Executioners bore the psychological burden of killing. Some are hardened, thinking of their work as a craft. Others turn to drink, trying to wipe from their minds the cries that followed them. There are records of executioners keeping journals, records of how they went about doing their work, as if to remind themselves that they were doing it under law, not just killing. What's more unnerving is that scaffold killings weren't always clean. A botched beheading had the axe crashing repeatedly, with each blow more horrific than the one before. The executioner had that dishonor, not only in front of the crowd, but deep in his own psyche. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the role began to change. Executioners in France, especially under the guillotine, were becoming official state servants. They were given uniforms, salaries, and official titles. Some, like Charles-Henri Sanson, who executed thousands of victims during the French Revolution, even became celebrities of a gruesome kind. But even then, their children still could not marry outside executioner families. Their homes remained half outcasts, and titters followed them wherever they went. So what was existence as an executioner like? It was to exist in two worlds simultaneously. Daytime, despised and ostracized, never being able to extend the hand without suspicion. Nighttime, or rather, on the scaffold, grasping the entire city's attention, holding dominion over life and death. Invisible and unforgettable, a man. And perhaps the most frightening thing of all is that executioners were not monsters. They were human beings seduced into a vocation that was inhuman. They were in the shadowy place between justice and violence, honor and dishonor, and law and ethics. They were needed, but never wanted. The next time we recall public hangings, let's remember, it wasn't just the executed who had a cost. The executioner, too, paid a lifetime penalty. So what do you say? Do you want to live as an outcast from society, yet be advantaged, or walk shamelessly, yet face the gallows yourself? If you liked this glimpse into the life of an executioner, such as in this video, pass it along to everyone who likes to explore the dark corners of history and subscribe for more tales the textbooks won't tell. Thanks for watching, and always stay curious, because history has a lot of secrets still waiting to be shared.